Welcome in, everyone, to Life Without Limits, where there are no limits to what you can achieve, especially when it comes to emotional freedom techniques, one of my favorite subjects. My guest is Janet Hemning, and she is an expert in helping women with weight loss using emotional freedom techniques. Welcome back in, Janet. I'm so glad to talk
Thanks.
to you today. You
I'm
have
so happy I'm here.
you have such important information for women. And I think, golly Neds, if it's not one of in the top 3 concerns that women have, weight loss, relationships, and finances. As a counselor, I've come to know those 3 issues very well, helping people. But I'm interested in you sharing your story of your weight loss program. You just completed a class with clients, with your students, on how to lose weight using EFT, or what was
Well,
the class about?
what it was online class, 6-week online class. We met once a week. And the title of it, I was trying to brainstorm up an online class, and this was back in like August. I was like, oh, what can I do an online class, for the rest of the year? And I thought, you know what? The holidays are coming. This is a time when I don't know the exact statistics right now, but I remember years ago, I think the average weight gain from Thanksgiving to New Year's was like 9 pounds. And that was many years ago. I remember reading that somewhere, and I think it's less than that nowadays, but I haven't studied that, the exact number of pounds. So I thought, I think I need to help women get through the holidays through the use of EFT. And let's go through different, like, what are the most popular things that come up with women at the holidays that cause them to overeat, binge eat, drink too much alcohol, which, is all sugar. And, so I made this program. And so my plan was for each week to hit a different subject and keep notice and record of the changes, of the shifts of belief and their emotions through the 6 weeks. Well, the group of women that signed up for this class, it took me totally off track, because it turned out their number one issue that they had, all of them, which kind of took me back, was loneliness.
Okay.
Loneliness. Even though some had a lot of family and some didn't have hardly any family, I was very surprised that was the number one emotion where they felt was a problem at the holidays that would cause them to eat too much or eat the bad foods, make them feel bad enough about themselves to just eat. And so it was kind of odd, because when I realized that the first week that we were talking about this, they didn't have any issues with the other topics I had taken. And I had done a survey from a lot of professionals to see what's the reason they overeat. And like, this group didn't have any of that. So I had to shift gears on the 6 weeks of class, which was excellent, because I cannot believe these women, the shift they made from week 1 to week 6, the shift that was happening from week to week in their belief systems. And I was recently introduced to picture tapping. And when I was introduced to it, and I used it at a women's retreat weekend I had put together in September, and that was my first time using picture tapping, I fell in love with it. So it was on week 1 of my Surviving the Holidays class, I had them, their homework assignment to bring back for week 2 was to draw a picture of what they truly believe is in the way of them reaching their goal weight. And I said, I want you, whatever it is, and just use different color pens, crayons, markers, whatever you want. I want you, what you feel deep down represents what's blocking you from losing the weight and keeping it off. Because these are women that have struggled the same, 20 pounds on, 20 pounds off, 30 pounds, you know, they go to, they lose, they get down to their goal weight, and within 2 months they're putting it back on again. Self-sabotage effect. But so they all kind of looked at me on the screen, because, you know, it's all online, and they're like, well, if I knew, you know, the week one, well, if I knew what it was, I wouldn't be in this situation. You know, so like, okay, well, we're just going to let just draw it and bring it back for next week. Oh my gosh, Joan, how interesting the perception that everybody had of why. And I have permission to tell this story about one particular drawing. She had a picture of a brick wall, and she had like different colors on certain bricks. And she cut out a picture of herself, and from here on up was all she saw over the brick wall.
Oh, wow.
And that first week that she had that, and, you know, we all discussed, we went through every photo from each of the members of the group and talked about it. And we did borrowing benefits. We tapped as a group on different pictures, whoever wanted to tap in the group. And when we got to hers, and I said, so what does it represent? And she said, that's my wall of protection. And I said, oh, you know, and so we, as a group, we tapped on this wall. And so each week for homework, I had them review their picture and see what emotion came up at that time each week. And then if the picture changes, make marks on the picture, or redraw a picture from week to week, however things change. By I think it was by week 5, because I then asked this particular woman, I said, you know, one of these weeks, why don't you write on each brick what emotion each brick represents? What's coming up on this brick wall? Let's go into this. And, you know, and she was pretty good. After the first week, she was very good on her homework. Because, you know, not everybody likes to go there, and it's kind of scary to go there. So by week 5, her brick wall was coming down, and more of her head was showing, and then part of her body was showing. And by week 6, her picture was completely different. She had no brick wall. She goes, I was the only one in the way of this.
Oh.
I don't need protection. I don't need this weight for protection.
Oh my goodness.
And I think at one point when we were discussing as a group, she goes, oh my God, I think I just gave myself chills. I mean, she even couldn't believe the shift that had happened over 6 weeks.
Wow. With your guidance.
With the guidance of EFT.
Yes.
And what the outcome of it after 6 weeks with all these women, which was, you know, as an EFT practitioner, we can't tell people what to think and how to feel. I was praying and I was doing my best as a practitioner to get them to all to this point, which worked. By week 6, they all agreed that it's not the weight, it's not how they look, and it's not the number on the scale. We have to change how we feel about ourselves. We have to love ourselves enough to take care of our bodies and take care of us.
Oh my gosh. You are a gem.
And you know, so by week 6, when they all agreed on this, I'm like, oh, you guys are like making me cry. Absolutely. But, you know, that was the goal I really was working towards. So they realized it's not about the number on the scale. And all you women out there, it's not. The number on the scale will come down as a result of us figuring out how to love ourselves enough and accept ourselves no matter how we look.
Say that again. The number on the scale will come down.
Will come down as a result of us figuring out how to love ourselves enough so that we accept ourselves no matter what size we are and how we look.
Whoa.
And that was the point. That was where everybody had gotten to by week 6. And the shift from week to week was amazing. And when they, and I've checked in with them because actually, I studied matrix reimprinting, and I actually, on the last week, we ended the 6 weeks where we did a positive tapping, a couple of rounds of positive tapping on where they were at now, and where they could go in the future with this feeling. And they all admitted how great they felt about this. And I reimprinted that feeling as an exercise with the whole group. And, of course, their homework after that from here on out is to continue to improve that feeling about themselves. And I taught them how to re-imprint that feeling, into their cellular memories, into their bodies. And so I've checked in with a couple of them since Wednesday, and they're doing, I just can't, I'm just so proud of all of them. I'm so proud of all of them on how far they've come in that 6 weeks and how they're so excited now about their future journey.
Mm. Mm.
And the fear of failure has gone to the wayside because, when people have tried 30, 40 times in their life to lose weight and they can't do it, then that failure's, I'm a loser.
Yes.
Settles in. So, a lot of what I work with women individually is their fear of failure.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know
Right.
what? This is I want to share Janet's website with everyone. So you all hold that thought, because Janet, you are such a treasure. OMG. So here we go, people. I'm going to share Janet's website. So here we are. Never too late to lose the weight. That is fantastic. Look at this.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh. She offers a free consultation. She has a video. Look at this. Are you frustrated with yourself and your failed weight loss attempts? Can't get a grip on those food cravings? Do you have a hard time staying motivated? Does it just seem too overwhelming? This is a beautiful website, Janet.
Well, thank you.
Jeez.
Thank you.
Do you get
I love it.
Weight? It is. It's I love the very feng shui colors.
Yeah, I know. That did come in handy.
Yes, that does. But that is another show. Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone, look at this. What is EFT? And how does it work? Janet's story.
Yeah, you can read my story in detail.
Her services. Oh, you all, if you're struggling with weight loss, you have to please contact Janet. Please.
Gosh, I really like my website looking at it from here.
It's tremendous. All right, people. Okay. How to contact her. But it's very simple. Never too late to lose the weight.com. You can't get more simple than that. All right. But getting back to Janet. Janet, you are so wise for one so young. We're going to go we're going to go on to, you know what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen. There's more, still more that you need to hear about women and weight loss. So hang in there, everybody. We're going to go to part 3. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm so enamored with Janet, I forgot my own title. So, Life Without Limits, because there are no limits to what you can achieve. Stay tuned for part 3 with Janet Hemning and weight loss, women and weight loss.